meeting of the Denison City Council is now in session. The invocation will be given by Kent Raleigh, Councilman.
Right. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for our many blessings of life. We ask that you be with us tonight in all our decisions. We ask that your hand be in each and everything we do. Lead, guide, and direct us in all things we do in our life. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on our agenda is the consent agenda. There's a motion by Councilmember Malvern. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Brawley. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on our agenda are public hearings, and Gabe has an introduction he'd like to make before we move forward.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. It's my pleasure to introduce to you a new face before the City Council. Roger McBride is our Assistant Building Official. He's been with us. Roger, if you want to, kind of like Price is Right, come on down. He's been with us since January. He previously worked for the City of McKinney for about 17 years and has some roots to Texoma, so we're really pleased to have him with us. And with that, give it to Roger.
The first item A, will receive a report, hold a discussion, and conduct a public hearing to receive testimony concerning the condition of 427 East Munson. Roger, welcome.
Okay, on September 19th, 2016, Joe Gas, Gill, and Carr/Gill Enterprises LLC were given a notice of violation to repair and demolish the structure at 427 East Munson. The owners have failed to comply with the notice. The structure is unsafe and is a potential fire hazard. The roof is in substandard condition. The foundation is in substandard condition. It's open and it is an attractive nuisance. I'm asking the city council, I'm asking the council to declare the structure an unsafe structure and order its removal.
All right. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here, Virginia Singh,
Yes.
would like to speak on behalf of this item?
Yes, sir.
This is our very first time of having this. And
State your name and address for the
Virginia
record,
Singh,
please.
4779 Sistrunk Street, Sherman, Texas. I'm very nervous. I don't know how to do this.
That's okay.
Relax.
We're very
At
friendly.
the moment, we've been repairing the house on College Boulevard, which this dear sir knows. I went to Munson Street and I seen the sign on there and it said, do not enter, do not do anything. Then I received this letter and I thought I'd just come here to court, talk to you, and ask that we take care of the property and be able to fix it.
Okay,
I
so,
was not aware of that it stated, to me it does not state that I need to repair it. It said I couldn't enter the property. And I did not know it was open because I didn't go nowhere around it.
so you're,
Asking to see if y'all would let me have time to fix it.
okay, so it's customary that in a situation like this, we give the owner 2 weeks to pull a permit
Yes,
to
ma'am.
bring the house back up to standard,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have 6 months to repair it.
Okay.
So
I did
there's
not-
significant damage on the property.
Yes, ma'am.
I just would encourage you to make sure before you start working that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand the degree to which it's gonna take to
I
bring this up.
did, and I mentioned that to Mr. Joe Gill about him not buying that home. But we did, and we have like $18,000 invested into the home. So it would be a great loss to us if we lost that home. So that's, if you would just give me this one time to understand y'all's rules. And actually, I'll never buy one of these houses again like this. But my College Boulevard house is doing very well. And I'd like the time to do that. So what I need, would y'all give me the opportunity to pull a permit tomorrow?
You have 2 weeks to pull a permit, and
Yes,
then
ma'am.
you have 6 months
Yes, ma'am.
to complete the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
sure.
So did y'all just, when did y'all buy this home?
It's been about a year. I have the property, the paperwork here.
Okay. So
And
y'all
I've
own
been
it,
very ill, and Mr. Gill has had to go and take care of his mother in India.
Okay.
So, and then we've been trying to work on College Boulevard, which wasn't as bad as repair as this one.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying, what our idea of this company was to buy these houses and put them up for sale at an affordable price for people to be able to buy them.
Uh-huh.
And then build our company to where we can even build affordable housing for people. That's our dream of our company.
Very good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else have questions of Ms. Singh? All right. If not, the public, yes,
Well, I was gonna ask a question to our building official after you finish.
okay. The public hearing is closed. Discussion?
Any update for us as far as if we've, it sounds to me like we're in a current situation with a violent, with the similar property, the one she's described on College Street, as far as anything you wanna add to, as far as how that process has been going, and how long it's taken, and is the 6 months reasonable considering what's going on the other property?
Looking at the structure itself as it is, 6 months is a time frame that would have to be met without any delay. I mean, there's just quite a bit of damage to the property.
Yes, there is. And we are aware of that.
Thank you, Ms. Singh. Further discussion?
Can I leave now?
Well, you might want to wait to see what they decide.
Oh, I got yeah. I'm just really nervous.
Motion?
Yeah, I move to approve the extension. Getting her permit in 6 months to finish the work.
All right. There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion from Councilmember Malvern, and a second from Councilmember Brawley to give Ms. Singh 2 weeks to pull her permit and 6 months to complete the work. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item, receive a report, hold a discussion, and conduct a public hearing to receive testimony concerning 1217 South Myrick. Roger?
On September 19, 2016, Gerald Hoyt Foster was given notice of violation to repair or demolish the accessory structure at 1217 South Myrick. The owners have failed to comply with the notice. The structure is unsafe and is a potential fire hazard. Roof is in substandard condition, foundation is in substandard condition, and the exterior walls on the south side is in very bad substandard condition. I'm asking council to declare the structure an unsafe structure and order its removal.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this item?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you come forward and state your name and address for the record, please?
City Council, my name is Gerald Hoyt Foster. I live at 1217 South Myrick Avenue, Denison, Texas.
Okay. And what would you like to,
It was my intentions, when I got the notice back in September, they give me another date. After that, they step another deal up. It was my intentions to, in fact, work on the structure, and I've come down to the city and talked to them about a permit. And there's just some extenuating circumstances and me having to, my brother and my sister-in-law died a month apart, and I'm running back and forth to the hospital. They raised me, and I was just all stressed out. You know, this past weekend, I got in, looked inside the building and everything, and I realized that it's just too far gone for me to really invest, put him in. It'd be better to tear it down and rebuild it, a new one. And I was asking the city council to consider allowing me to get a, whatever that container is, but next to the garage, and allow me to tear it down, because there is one wall that is about 20 foot by 8 foot of good lumber in it I'd like to keep. But I could do that immediately. Like I said, I've just been going through some changes, difficulties, and I've got a 14-year-old and 18-year-old kid that I'm raising. I work at Milo from 8 to 5, but I have come eligible for my personal time and vacation time coming up. And if you allow me to put that container on the property, I got started on it immediately, demoing the property. And there was one other issue I would like to ask, what about putting a little building out back, a portable building to put my lawnmower and stuff in? Is that allowed?
Okay,
Yes, ma'am, it would be, it'd require a building permit, so you would coordinate that with the
City Hall.
building department.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
That's about it, man.
so the question is, do you wanna say something, Jay?
I was just gonna suggest, how long do you think it would take you to tear it down or to demolish it?
Give me a couple of months, I'll get it. I mean, I'll get the roof down. I mean, as soon as I get the container where I'm checked all the roof into it, I'll get the roof down and no walls braced off. I work from 8 to 5, but it'll be every weekend in the afternoons when I can. Like I said, I wanna do it safely. I have construction abilities. I have framed houses and put on roofs and stuff, so I have no problem tearing it down safely. Like I said, I just wanted to know if I could get permission to get one of those big metal things and what possibly would it cost me. Does the city do that?
A roll-off dumpster?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, we
I'd
do.
like to, yeah.
Um, I just make the recommendation, if you do wanna give it some time, consider how soon you could tear it down.
I'll get right on it.
And consider an extension for that. Otherwise, I don't mind sending the city staff out to do it, but it does cost taxpayer money when we do
Sure.
that.
But I think he's asking for the roll-off at no charge, is that right?
No, ma'am.
No,
No, ma'am. I'm willing to pay a fee.
You're willing to pay for it,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Yes, yes, I am.
All right.
Thank you.
Anybody have questions?
Would a 60-day time frame would that be
Oh, yes.
adequate?
Yes. If I have to take off work, take personal time, whatever, I'll do it.
Or hire some help?
I'll get it done.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is there anyone else to speak on
Thank you,
this
City
agenda
Council.
item? If not, the public hearing is closed. Discussion? Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, with the condition of a 60-day time frame of completion. And we'll, recommend city staff work with them to accomplish the demo.
Okay, is there a second? There's a motion by Councilmember Spiegel, second by Councilmember Malvern. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 3C, receive a report, hold a discussion, and conduct a public hearing concerning the condition of 2325 Delton Lane. Roger?
On September 19, 2016, Charles Gregory Denison was given notice of violation to repair or demolish the structure at 2325 Delton Lane. The owner has failed to comply with the notice. The structure is unsafe and is a potential fire hazard. Roof is in substandard condition. Foundation is in substandard condition. It's open and an attractive nuisance. I'm asking council to declare the structure an unsafe structure and order its removal.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on behalf of this item?
Yes, ma'am.
Please come forward, sir, and state your name and address for the record.
I'm Charles Gregory Denison. I live at 2329 Delton Street, right next door to the place. I was, I did give it, I did make the permits. I have the materials there to fix the house. I did get the roof torn off. It is tarped off right now because my son got in some trouble that was helping me, and I'm been disabled, but I think I can get it done. I'm asking for a little bit more time, if I could, please.
Okay, so you have already pulled a permit on
I
this,
did,
correct?
yes, ma'am, and I already had the second permit pulled also,
Okay,
because it went past the date.
so if it's the council's pleasure, I think we could give you 6 months from the hearing
It would sure
tonight
help.
to complete the work. Could you get it done in that amount of time?
Yes, ma'am, I don't know if I could get the sheetrock and everything on the inside, but as far as the nuisance and the structural sound, yes. Does that, or does it have to all be done? I mean, because, I'm limited on my budget as far as buying everything, you know, but I mean, I have all the material to get it structurally sound, painted, and the windows fixed.
That's,
Yeah, that's what we'd have. Yeah.
okay.
I can do that, yes, ma'am.
Are you understood with what it takes to bring it up to code?
Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what I used to do for a living before I got hurt.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank
A
you.
question, want to have any further questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
All right, the public hearing is closed. Discussion? A motion.
I'll make a motion to grant 2 weeks to pull a permit, and I think you said he's already done that, and also a 6-month extension on these repairs
From today.
from today.
Okay.
Second.
There is a motion by Councilmember Raleigh, second by Councilmember Malvern, to issue an extension for 6 months from today. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Councilman.
All right. 3D, receive a report, hold a discussion, and conduct a public hearing to provide reasonable opportunity for any owner of property within the proposed tax increment reinvestment zone number 3 to protest the inclusion of their property within the proposed reinvestment zone. Mr. Rex?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Here before you tonight, back on November 7th, City Council approved a resolution calling for a public hearing for the possible creation of a TERS number 3 in Denison and for the preparation of a preliminary project and financing plan. We're here tonight for the public hearing and also to vote on an ordinance to create the TERS. So if it's okay, I'd like to just run through a few basics of the TERS for the council and the public, and then open the public hearing at that point. Tax increment reinvestment zone number 3, there's 2 other TERS in Denison that cause us to get to number 3. For the public, TERS stands for Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone. It's really a funding tool for the city that will capture future portions of tax increment revenue to go towards public improvements. It's not a new tax and it doesn't change the tax rate. It's really just capturing future value and the revenue that comes from that. The TERS number 3 area is shown on the slides here. Includes most of downtown, especially the business district, and then the arms of the TERS extend out along Morton Street to the west, and then Austin Avenue north and south from downtown. So how does the TERS work? What we do when a TERS is established is we take its base property value, which for this area is $78.7 million. Any future growth in that property value is considered increment, and the tax revenue from that increment is set aside for improvements. Or in the case of this TERS number 3, we would anticipate using the increment for debt service on bonds that would be sold to complete public improvements. So again, the 2015 tax value, or which is the base, would be $78.7 million. The 2016 tax value would be, as we know, because those values have been established at $86.6 million. So we're already going to see a 10% growth in the value in the TERS, which is a great thing. At a 75% participation rate by the city and the county, that would equate to about $60,000 in TERS funds in the first year. So definitely a positive thing there. This generally just kind of gives you a flow of how that revenue comes about. For each $1 million that is in new value in the TERS, it really equates to about $7,600 of tax revenue that goes into the TERS fund. And again, this assumes a county participation rate of 75%, which is what we've requested from Grayson County at this time. And with that, I can answer any questions and do recommend that the public hearing be held.
All right. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on behalf of this item? If not, the public hearing is closed, and this does not require action until we get to item 4B.
Thank you.
So, Now we'll move to item 4A, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on authorizing fiscal year 2016 year-end budget amendments and appropriations for fiscal year 2017. Renee?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Yes, we're here to approve the budget amendments for year-end appropriations. There's an attachment there that shows you the 2016 amendments in your packet. And what those are just line items that are the divisions. If the divisions go over $5,000 or more, we have to do a budget amendment. And so I choose the line items within that division that created that expenditure to go over. Most of these, if not all of them, were discussed during the budget process. We knew that these were gonna be issues at the end of the year, and we budgeted for that during the budget process, so these are not surprises to us, but because of auditing issues, we have to approve those budget items. As far as the budget appropriations, those are items that we budgeted for capital projects to be completed in 2016, but for one reason or another, they weren't completed, so we have to move that budget item from 2016 to 2017. We have to have that approved by council as well.
Questions? Pretty straightforward. This does require approvals. Motion?
Motion to approve as stated.
There's a motion by Councilmember Brawley, second by Councilmember Mallard. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Receive a report, hold a discussion, and consider an ordinance of the Council of the City of Denison, Texas, designating a contiguous geographic area within the city as a tax increment reinvestment zone pursuant to Chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code, to be known as Reinvestment Zone Number 3. Mr. Judd.
Thank you. No further discussion or information on the TERS other than this is an ordinance that would create the TERS as described earlier. I'll be happy to answer any questions the council may have.
Questions from council? Motion?
Move to approve.
Second?
second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Malvern, second by Councilmember Spiegel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It is 6:23, and the council will go into executive session pursuant to Chapter 551 Texas Government Code